Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online. Welcome also to Jita, of course. It's the day after patch day for the May release, which means that all of the Plex changes are in the game, and that means if you take a look at Jita local that the scams are rife at the moment. It's all about Plex, which is supposed to be which they're pretending to be 60-day game time, and then you only have to pay 500 million for those. So right now is not a good time to look at a local in Jita, but it is pretty funny to see all of the different types of scams that people are trying to pull with the Plex changes. You know, you'll see the numbers 500, 100 game time and things like that come back quite a little bit, but of course all of that has changed quite substantially. So let's put this back. I think it's close to like this, and take a little bit of a look at my inventory, because of course this has changed as well. You now have here the Plex vault where I have 489 Plex, so almost 500 Plex, or almost 30 days game time. And this is actually the conversion that happened automatically from the Aurum that I still had left in the store. If I press on this, let's take a look. Sell Plex for ISK, so you can go straight to the market. You can add Omega game time, which requires 500 Plex. Shop in a New Eden store, or you can buy Plex. Are we gonna risk clicking on that? Let's do that. Fast is only available for credit card payments. In order to activate fast checkout, you need... so they're gonna make it really easy. I mean, if you want to add a little bit of a Plex package and you put a credit card and you allow for fast checkout, you're just gonna be able to buy that stuff in game. You know, it's definitely your own responsibility to not go overboard or not spend money that you don't actually want to spend on a game. So this is, yeah, maybe I can understand how some people feel like this is a bit of advertisement for microtransactions, trying to milk the cow a little bit, as many people will say. But yeah, it's part of the game, of course, at this point, and part of gaming in general. As long as this is always my opinion on this, as long as CCP respects the rules of the sandbox, which is not that you can't buy anything with real life money, it's just that you cannot buy anything that you can't always get by putting effort in the game, then I'm okay with it. Basically, as long as they allow everything to be freely tradable, I'm actually alright with what's happening here at the moment. Now, in my item hanger, I did have some more Plex. So here now I have 15,000 Plex, which was 30 Plex that I still had left and hadn't sold. And I think we'll start by taking a look at the market, of course. Let's take a look at what's happening here. And this is quite interesting. I came back home like maybe a bit of over an hour ago, took the time to grab a little bit of food and take a shower, and then they were going for 2.6 million, which was probably around 1.3 billion, which is almost the price that they reached. So let's take a quick look if I can find the calculator here. I think I read on Reddit that we went up to 1.29 billion. So then we need to make sure that that's 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if we divide that by 500 equals, yeah, 2.5, almost 2.6 million was basically the equivalent price of Plex at the time of the conversion. And what we do see here is that, yeah, 258, it's hesitating. It's not really shooting up. It's basically staying where it is. But what I do notice here is that going down from 2.7, 2.65 or 645, then 2.6, 2.59, 2.52, 2.52. It's going pretty quickly. There is a lot of supply coming here, and this is what I was mostly afraid of. It doesn't show up on the chart just yet, but I actually think that we'll see a lot of supply coming from people like myself that have all of a sudden a nice little stash of Plex, and now that you can sell them in maybe the hundreds or things like that. I think it's going to have an impact. What I do see here as well, you have sell orders of just 1 Plex. You also have sell orders of like less than 1,000. Those seem to be pretty popular, 400 to 500. And of course, sometimes you also have the big seller that's just dumping 6,000 Plex, which is equivalent to 12 Plex in the old denominations. So it's interesting. It's a major It's a major change to the game, to be honest, although I think that it's actually going to help make everything that much more easy to understand and smooth for newer players to get into, to understand how it interacts with the market and what it actually means for the game. So personally, so far, I'm actually positive about this change, and the prices, they don't seem to be going completely crazy. Right here, you also just have 2.5 million, a little bit lower in price actually. And what I like here as well is you can see that CCP updated the entire chart. So they basically, I think, took the sidebar here, divided everything by 500, and then kept the chart right here. Volume wise, they've probably done the exact same thing. So this is definitely good for EVE Talk, and I do look forward to seeing what the market is going to do with Plex by this weekend. As I've said, my personal expectation is that we will actually be under pressure here from all of the extra supply. We'll see if that works out or not. Another thing that I did want to show here as well, that I quickly checked out for myself, is the store. Here is the New Eden store, and this is, in my opinion, the biggest advantage for the game, for CCP. The prices now are much easier to understand, to wrap your head around. So here you have 110 is for a skin, but you also have a couple of, like here, right here, 55 Plex for a Zealot Rada Sunset skin, like a tenth of a Plex, $1.5. Really easy to understand. I personally feel much more in touch with the prices as I'm seeing them here. You know, 10 Plex for a pair of pants, 20 Plex for a dress, things like that for the apparel. You know, it's much easier, I would say, for me at least, to spot what is really cheap, what's a bit more expensive, and what becomes really expensive. If we look at the battleship skins, 110 Plex, that starts to be a bit more expensive. 250 right here for Thanatos skin, definitely more expensive, almost half a Plex. And right here, I think that this is basically the major advantage of the new Plex system, of the mini Plex, as apparently they've come to call it on Reddit mostly, from what I've read, is that it's just one currency and then the in-game ISK currency. So this is much easier to quickly make the calculations in your mind, and to decide whether or not it's something that you want, whether you should consider that cheap or expensive. I think when they do sales as well, let's take a quick look here. Ragnarok 250. Yeah, you know, you can understand that that's half a monthly subscription. That's definitely pretty expensive, but stuff that's only 10 or so of those Plex, that's almost nothing. Something that you could definitely, if you want to, purchase and have easily earned back through in-game means. And right here, so from 220 to 198. So yeah, that doesn't make that big of a difference, but I think if they would do sales like right here, 25% off on a Marauder bundle, going from 1,000 Plex, which is like 2 months subscription, to 750. Yeah, it's 15 days off of the price, or $7.50. It's a lot easier to make the conversions, to understand the prices that you're looking at right here. And I know that some people are starting up the discussion on pay to win, but as far as I'm concerned, with this change, CCP is not breaking the sandbox rules. And so I actually think that yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how the game will evolve after this. And the major aim, I really do still think, is first of all, get rid of Aurum, make everything much more streamlined and easy to understand, to basically get alpha clones and newer players to spend cash more quickly. And I think that they'll do it with this. So yes, I agree, it's a business decision. This is not something that is meant to be great for the game or for the veterans or for anything like that. This is something that just makes sense business-wise, and in my opinion, as I've said, doesn't break the sandbox rules. And so understandable that CCP has taken this step. So that's my quick analysis on the Plex changes for now. We'll keep a close eye on everything in EVE Talk, of course, and personally I'm really curious to see how the market is actually going to react to all of this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.